The collaborative engagement team has been holding community conversations in the community to listen and capture the voices of the community. We are listening to people who are usually not asked what they think. This process is different because we're holding the conversations in the community and listening to the voices of all of the community. Some of the things we are hearing include poverty is caused by racism and discrimination, disparities that create inequities. The disparities are included in mental health, education, and other fields where employment is important. Children, all children, need in their lives adults, parents, and others to nurture and care for them. These are the families and the adults that need financial security to be able to support the children in our communities. This means we need jobs and equal opportunities for all of the communities in order for them to be able to help their lives and improve their lives. Family planning, education needs to be available to all women and men. Here are some of the voices that we have captured in our community conversations.
The statistics, of course, are appalling that unfortunately Cincinnati has the dubious distinction of ranking second or third in the country for its level of childhood poverty.
I think a lot of it starts with kids. It's harder when you grow up in poverty to get out of poverty than it is if you grew up in middle class or higher class. I grew up in poverty and I thought I was going to get out, and here I am.
It's just really disturbing that I live within a community. I go to a school and we don't even know that we're practically in poverty. I know that we can do better.
Things that get in the way is drugs, addiction, alcohol, lack of resources, no programs for the children to be rehabilitated, shall I say, as far as the addiction of their parents.
Transient families, very unstable homes and residents, a fear of isms, and a trust in nothing.
One of the major barriers is to have an incentive to have people get to work. And instead of having a limit where individuals lose benefits like child care subsidies or affordable housing, to have those graduated so that people are encouraged and get more benefits to increase their ability to work. And an example of that's an IDA account where people get savings for achieving goals and get rewarded for getting to a better situation.
Better education. I think that a lot of it starts in our schools.
I truly believe that education is one of the areas that needs to be touched on so it can be broader and expanded and more of a tool of the person. That we get an education that embodies the whole person rather than just a microcosm of the person.
Better jobs, higher paid wages to suit everyday living, better transitional programs for felons that's coming out of the system, trying to get back into society and become more productive citizens.
Helping out the families with like a financial advisor, helping them like with budgeting, I think just creating programs for the families.
The most important of them all is participation from everyone in the community to help each other.
You have families, as soon as they know a baby is coming, they start making the plan of how to survive poverty and not of how to get out of it. And I think if we can change that mentality, that we can do a lot of change in the world.
I grew up in College Hill, and I still am in College Hill, but it's a totally different dynamic of where I am now from where I was. Growing up, living in poverty, sleeping on the floor, not having my own bedroom, to having my own house in College Hill at 26. The thing that helped me was organizations and community opportunities. I had my first job at 15 because of an organization I was a part of in downtown Cincinnati. You know, I had the coach from the football team who, you know, gave me support. I had my church family. So if it wasn't for people in my life and different things that I personally got involved with, nobody had to push me to get involved, nobody had to force me to get involved, but I made a conscious decision at a young age to be involved in my community, and it made opportunity for me.
I am very passionate about my community. I want to help my community. And I want to give the voice that's not always the politically correct answer. Because sometimes you just got to say it the way it is.
I come to an event like this to gain resources and to help my family.
I've been in enough conversations around change that have been unproductive, and you just feel like why am I even here? Because my voice is not heard. So I was thoroughly impressed with the fact that the process went so well and people were interactive.
We can do so much better than this, and we can try to help the world ourselves if we just try to help each other.
How do I feel about poverty in our community? It's distressing, and yet at the same time hopeful. Distressing because the problem is so great, but hopeful because there are people that are working together to change it.